Buenos dias, bonjour. 9:10. So you know I'm not going to be here long. And I just wanted to let you know, guys, what I'm cooking tomorrow. Good morning. I know it's early. Maggie never gets on this early, but I got up at 7 and went to San Felipe. Buenos dias, buenos dias. I know it's early. I know you're probably in your bed. Just relax. It won't be long. I just wanted you to know what I'm cooking tomorrow. Buenos dias, bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Listen, I've been up, so get up. I had a sister. I said, let's go hike. Let's say we have to be there at 6. She's like, oh, that's too early for me. I can't get up that early. Oh my God. Good morning, Robin. She is flying out today. I forgot to say Godspeed. But if you're listening, Elizabeth, I hope you get there safe and sound. Good morning. Hola. But anyway, quickly, I've been up. I was up at 7, went to San Felipe. I was like debating what to cook tomorrow, right? Of course, I'm still boycotting rice and bread, and hopefully I'm not going to go to Ray tomorrow and be tempted to get another pastry. Kind of set me back again last week, but anyway, so I've gotten some frozen, what did I get? Oh, I got edamame. I thought I bought some frozen pigeon peas. Oh yes, I did. It's a lot easier for me to find edamame here for some reason. But anyway, this one says green pigeon peas, right? But, they have that kind of grayish color. But I have seen the really nice green guandu at San Felipe. They are a little bit smaller than the pigeon peas. But I was thinking of making a curry and then put some squash in it so that way I don't have to cook rice. But there was none. Things are changing. I'm going to be doing a video, I don't know, maybe tomorrow if I have time. No, tomorrow I can't. I have a lunch appointment. About safety in Panama. I'm going to do one. I'm debating whether I should or not. But anyway, I got up so I'm not doing I couldn't find the guandu, so I'm not doing the curry. And I said, okay, let me do a fish soup. So when I went usually I go to the fish market first and then cross over and go to San Felipe. And because of that last episode, I'm still mad about that scamming thing. I don't go inside the main room, the main seafood area, which is where they try to scam us, right? Because they see you coming, they're like, oh, there's another one. They got money, and they up the price or whatever they're telling you. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. So now on the outskirts, you have the main room, and then you have areas around it where things are a lot cheaper in terms of fish. So a lot of the average Panamanians go there, and you can buy fish for $1.50 a pound, but they're not going to clean it for you. You have to pay someone to clean it. I'm like, that's too much. But last time I went, I was able to buy the shrimp and a fillet of corvina, which is what I'm looking for. Corvina or sea bass here, it's a little thicker, it's meatier, and then it can hold itself in a soup. It's not going to disintegrate like a flounder, right? Cod would cook a lot faster. I was looking for that. So I stopped in, and the young man recognized me, and I feel a lot better that I'm not going to get scammed there. So now when they tell me your price and they're putting it on the scale, I am looking. I want them to know I'm looking to see if they're putting the right. I just hate that we have to get to the point where we don't trust our leaders. That's a no bueno for me. Ooh, we gotta watch these. This fish has been dripping since I got it. And then right there by the door, I found some blue crabs. Not very often that I see crab. Like again, like I said before, Panama is not known for crab. They're not into crab that much. Okay, so my hands are gonna be all in it. So let me just pick my board off. I don't have to go clean that. My phone and my umbrella. You do not leave home without this nowadays. This is rainy season. So whatever you're doing, whether it's a big one, a little one, always have your umbrella with you. All right? So, well, on the way to the fish market, I got some quenelle. Quenelle is I gotta wash them first. But they like these things. And then you bite into them and they have like let me show you one. You bite into it and inside it looks like this. And then you suck it, you eat the outer and there's a large pit inside. So I am supposed to, I'm gonna, soak it. Yeah, I'm real good nowadays with the food. All right, so I said, I don't know why I buy 2 pounds of crab, because with the soup, I want to make a fumet. A fumet is the broth that's gonna infuse that soup with the, like when you put fish in anything, it's got that distinctive taste. So first of all, I said, give me 2 pounds, dos libras. I'm like, oh no, I don't need to put a lot of shrimp in the fish soup. In the fish soup, you put your fish, and I'm gonna put some crabs, because I believe the crab is gonna give me that taste that I want. So I bought 2 pounds of blue crab, and they were $2 a pound. So I'm gonna be all fishy. I have a class at 10, so I'm gonna hop in the shower real quick. Actually, they look pretty decent, because there was another table and they did not look as fresh. And that's why I don't buy blue crabs here, because they usually like, ooh, and I'm like, how many days you have these little crabs sitting here? But these look pretty good, don't they? But I'm gonna clean them up, and then the shell I'm gonna use to make my broth with. I had saved some shrimp shells from last time. Can you imagine somebody saving shrimp shells in their freezer? Yeah, that's what cooks do. We're kind of weird like that. Yeah, we are weird. So I'm gonna clean the crab, use the shell, and I also bought a pound of large shrimp like I did last time. I'm gonna use a few. I'm not gonna use the whole pound of shrimp, but oh, they're good. And they were like $2.75 there per pound. So, so now I don't go into the main room. I don't need to, because I hate being scammed. I don't want to tell me, you see the shrimp is very fresh as well. Look at the whiskers. Ooh, yes. And of course I gotta clean it. I know. But I'd rather clean shrimp than clean fish, scaling, with scales going all over in my hair. I always say that. Okay, I see one of my students. You're probably gonna say she's not gonna be here. So I was looking for the soup, the fish, and on that side of the fish market, because I'm not in the main section, they had corvina, but the corvina was whole. I was gonna have to have somebody scale it and pay for it. I'm like, forget it. And I'm like, what is this? She said it's atún, so it's tuna. So I'm gonna use that because it's still meaty. We're gonna use this piece of tuna for the, I got my hands in it, so I'm gonna clean my hands. So we're gonna use that, some crab and some shrimp as our fish. It's almost feel like I could make the gumbo, but the only thing I'm missing for the gumbo is the phyllo. So I am waiting for my sister coming in June to see if she can bring me some, and then I'll make the gumbo. Yeah. The only thing I would be missing in there is some oysters, and I know where to find the oysters. I guess I'd have to put my tail between my legs and go back in there and get some oysters. No, somebody else has oysters. I don't have to go to that guy. All right, but listen, I have got to wash my hands before I get into the veggie. Ew. Woo. You know that hantavirus. Listen, if you are in Panama, this hand soap is the best. White Lotus hand soap. Savon liquide. Let's see what's in it. It smells divine. All right. So, you know, when I come home, usually the first thing I do is to wash my hands after I've been out. You know, that hantavirus, they're saying, oh, very low risk. Didn't they say that about COVID? Mm-hmm. Now, another cruise ship had an outbreak. I do not cruise for that very reason. Too many people in one spot, I saw a cruise line, they said 1,100 something, and I'm like, that's a lot of people. And somebody said, was it 10,000? I'm like, you have 10,000 people on one boat? Woo! That would give me the heebie-jeebies. No puedo. No. And I remember going, you know, when you went to dinner, I mean, it was packed, a lot of people breathing and God created ventilation for a reason. So, don't let your guard down about that virus, okay? So if you have to cruise, if you love to cruise, I don't know, you go at your own risk. But me, I'm not cruising. I've been on 2 cruises, and after the second one, not only do I feel grossed out from so many people being in one tight space, breathing on each other. I've seen people where they have the cleaning people, the balustrades, you know, where you hang on the handle, wiping, and people still get sick. They still get the stomach. There is a name for that that sickness. They call it something. I remember when I had a health department doctor tell us about it, and I'm like, So in that soup, we are going to put, and this is the reason why I don't like to buy my squash, because this is not bright enough for my liking, but I went around the whole room to find one that was kind of darker. They were like really pale. Nothing compared to what I bought for my delivery service. So this is $1.20. So we're gonna put some squash in it. Yum. I can see the color of the soup. I bought 1 sweet potato. Now this is the Panama sweet potato when I the Ebola outbreak in the Congo. Yes, it's back again. Well, you know, it's never totally gone. Ebola is always suppressed, is always somewhere, right? And listen, folks, just be very careful, because I had COVID, and I know if there's another outbreak, I may not make it. I'm just telling you. So just make sure everything is good between you and the Lord. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I just don't want to be somewhere they're going to poke and put all this stuff in me and I'm still going to die. I don't want that. So, sweet potato, squash, calabaza, and I bought 2 small potatoes, papas. Sweet potato is called camote, C-A-M-O-T-E. Oh yeah, the outbreak. And you know how many of those poor people die? And of course, if you're in a country where you're poor, you don't have resources, that's where you get the most deaths, right? I don't know. I'm just so disgusted with the way the world works. I'm so disgusted. What they do to poor people, and then the rich are making deals, enriching themselves. How many billions do you need? How many billion? When is enough? I don't get it. And then I bought a head of broccoli. When you buy broccoli, this is where it comes. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now I tell you, I see so many people gardening. This would be a happy place for me. This friend of mine, I guess she's a new friend. She's a gardener. She said she's gonna come in August to get her visa. She said I'm gonna show you how to start a patio garden. I'm kind of scared because I'm not good with plants. So I don't know what kind of gardener I'm gonna be. So, my soup, it's not a stew, but I like to put other things in my soup, right? So I'm gonna cook the fish and then take it out. And then I went to buy peppers. Everything is more expensive now because of the increased gas prices. And then in the news this week, they were like, get ready with your wallet because the gas is gonna go up. What Panama does sometimes when there are outward forces that affect prices, the government, especially with gas, the government would invest and give what we call subsidies to keep the prices down. And they did that for a few weeks. But now they said they can't keep doing it, so this weekend, the prices are gonna go up. I went to get some tomatoes. She goes like a little bag like this, and she's like, everything is going up because of the gas prices. Because I told you before, Chiriquí, which is in the Boquete area, that's called the bread basket of Panama. About 60% of our food comes from that area. So when and they have to bring them down in trucks, right? So when they have to pay in diesel price, it's just. So we are going to be paying more for things. And now with the rainy season, every time they have a flood or something that grows in the ground, prices go up. I have onions and I have garlic, so I'm good. And then this is a bag of spinach. This is $1, so that's good, right? And I don't remember how much she charged me for these little few Roma tomatoes. I know in the store they're super expensive. And I got cilantro. Now this was the better buy. This is basil, albahaca. This whole thing for $1. Usually I don't get that much for $1. So I'm like, ooh. So I have this, oh my God. This was the veggie broth I was looking for, and then I ended up putting the pineapple water in my marinara. Did you see that? I was reaching out for the veggie broth, and I grabbed it. Oh my God! And then I was like, but you know what? It worked, because when you make marinara, the classical recipe that I was taught, you put like a teaspoon or two of white sugar to bring a certain amount of sweetness to counteract the tart taste of the tomatoes. And the tomatoes are kind of sweet to me. So I've never put the white sugar because I don't use white sugar. And that's why I put carrots in it, because I'm natural, a little bit natural sweetness. But that pineapple water, even though it's not sweet, I don't know if it's a taste from the skin, it totally works. So now I'm putting pineapple water in my marinara, in addition to the white wine. So I made marinara this week, and for some reason I forgot to use this. And I bought a can of tomato sauce, and I had this, I forgot. So I'm gonna make more marinara because I have so much basil, albahaca, or I can make some pesto. No, I don't have plum cheese. I can go get plum cheese and make pesto. But you need a lot more basil to make pesto. But I have this lady bought me a small grinder. Oh no, that's not good enough. Yeah. So I need to buy more basil so I can make pesto. Woo, yes. And then I bought the beautiful pineapple. This was $2. Used to be $1. I used to buy 2 or 3 for $1. No mess. You know, so things are changing. So that's gonna be my soup tomorrow. I don't know, sometimes I like to throw in some green peas at the end. Maybe I will. But it's gonna have fish, shrimp, crab. Ooh, the crab is just gonna give me that je ne sais quoi kind of taste. No bread. I was trying to find something to do that did not need like a grain, you know, or quinoa or with couscous. And rice, I only cook when I have company. So, you cruising your dream? I am not cruising. Now, I'm putting together like a short cruise, evening cruise, you know, where you're on a, you know, smaller boat and then everything is open, you know, for like 2 to 3 hours. I can do that. But for 7 days, I have a friend, she's there 7, 10 days. That's long. Or she got 21 days. There is no way I can be on a boat for that long. And I know you get on and off, and someone said, oh, but you know, I don't have to worry about unpacking. And I'm like, yeah, but does that justify the risk of getting a GI, especially when they cook your food? So many restaurants, no bueno para mí. So I think the fish soup is going to be a good alternative. Actually, I didn't have to put the sweet potato in it or the regular potatoes, but I feel like I need a little body into that soup, or it's going to be just a broth, right? And with this, and then I crushed some of that against the side of the pot, and it's going to thicken it a little bit. That's going to be my natural thickener. So it's going to be very hearty, which is what I need, because I'm trying to, you know, not eat so much. But anyway, I am going to do a video about safety in Panama because things are a bit different. So, not that it's just Panama, it's everywhere, because you can watch other people's videos and they're telling you it's everywhere, it's everywhere. So you're gonna have to have your wits about you. All right, guys. I need to get into the shower before my class and getting my water. Hi from Illinois. How are you? Yeah. You know, my daughter had a procedure done this week, and she was telling me about how about her negative experience. She had a procedure, and then she's talking about, you know, you felt like you were just a number, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. It's always been like that. If we were treated nicely by a doctor, it's rather the exception rather than the rule. Where I tell them it's not like that here. Doctors here are pretty caring and take time with you. But she had a procedure done. She said she woke up from anesthesia and it was like, how much pain are you having? Here's a prescription, your discharge orders. You know, she said she wasn't told anything. The doctor did not tell her anything about how the procedure went. She had it on Thursday. Was it on Thursday? And I called her yesterday. She hadn't heard anything from the doctor. And I said, you need to go into your electronic chart and find it. She said, there's nothing there. So you had a procedure. You don't know how it went. They sent you home. And I felt sorry for her because she's there by herself. You know, I always like to go to bat for my family when they enter the healthcare system, because trust me, sis can put on the gloves. And it's like, no, I want this, I want that. And so I said, sis, you're living in a different environment now. So as painful as it is, you have got to kind of expect that. And it's sad that you have to expect it. But you know how many black women would come on and tell you the experiences, doctor or otherwise? Do you remember the doctor during COVID who she died because even they knew she was a doctor, but she was of a certain shade, and they wouldn't give her pain medication. They said she was a seeker, and she ended up dying. And it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, judge, lawyer, it does not matter. And I'm telling you, this is what you have to try really hard to fight and not let it overwhelm you, because the whole notion that, you know, young women are dying after having a baby because, you know, for that husband to say, my wife gave birth, no problem with delivery, and then 2 days after delivery, she started sweating. She was having chills. Her heart rate was fast. Listen, unless you're really a dumb nurse, you know that means somebody is bleeding. Hypovolemia means your heart is trying to keep up with it. You become tachycardic. Your heart rate goes fast. You sweating. You pale. You need somebody to tell you to call the doctor, draw some blood, and see what's happening, or do ultrasound, something. But because they look at you like you're not even a human being, they don't listen to you. People die in prison because, you know, if you're in prison, you're subhuman. Whatever you did, I mean, it is bad. What you need to do is to advocate for yourself. I watch these cancer stories all the time, and it's not just us that get ignored. Oh, no, it's not the, oh, go home and take some Tylenol. They don't do the test. They refuse to give you a script for the test. OMG. Human being. What kind of a species is that? This is what's going to play with your mind if you're not careful. You cannot allow it to play with your mind. That is a challenge for all of us. When we see the inequity, and now it's so blatant. Last night, in my state of Florida, they were showing in one story where this 93, I think, year-old veteran, somebody, I guess, called him out of his house, and he went outside, and he's like, "We don't want your kind here. Get out of here." It's like out of the blue. Out of the blue. Yeah. And, you know, you see what's happening in South Africa, the xenophobia. Yes, it gives you pause. It gives you pause. So the thing that it's coming to become a reality is that there is no place is safe. And this lady who is in the news a lot, she's a media person in a certain area, I'm not going to mention her name, she ended up leaving the city where she was living and moving into the country. And you know, sometimes people don't tell you their stories. And I don't need to know your life, your business. I really don't. But you don't know what that person was dealing with, what kind of phone calls she had gotten. People get harassed all the time and threatened all the time. And you're going to have to make a decision how you're going to deal with it. And when it happens to you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Because now people feel entitled to say whatever they want to you, whatever they have been guarding in their heart. You know, there's a word in the Bible that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So it's going to slip out sometimes. You can be on guard. You used to be on guard, so you weren't labeled. But now it's like, oh, I can tell you exactly how I feel, what I think of you. Yeah. But what I know is that your opinion of me is just that. That's what I tell them. It's just that. Your opinion. I got nothing to do with it, and I got nothing to say about it. So you can call me whatever name you want. That's what you call me. That's not who I am. My sense of self is mine. And it was birthed when I was a kid. You are beautiful. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You can't take that away from me. Whatever you think of me, whatever you want to throw at me, you can call me whatever you want. And it's like, okay, have at it. Adelante. That's what the Spanish says. Go ahead. Let it out. Don't let it choke you. Let it out. You feel better after you said it? Okay. But when you say your own people rising against each other, they're falling prey to exactly what the system wants. Fight each other. And all I tell them, I don't know, when I read the story of Rwanda, a lot of this stuff started like that. People started calling each other names and blaming everybody for their situation. That's a dangerous slope. And you think we would have learned? We never learn from history. We don't. We keep repeating the same stuff. Stupidity. All right, guys. Listen, I'm letting it all out. I'm having a moment. I'm having a lot of those moments lately. I also bought a bag of white beans, which does not sit with me at all. White beans does a number on my GI system. But I'm thinking when I make the curry, I'm going to cook some white beans and put them in the blender with some cooked squash and then add it to the pigeon peas so I can have, can you imagine, like a creamy yellowish color? Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. But I still need to find the green pigeon peas, the one do. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to make that beautiful brothy fish soup that's going to taste yummy. So I'll see you tomorrow, all right? Have a good day. Bye. Au revoir. Stop. I always forget where that button is.